Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
In the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
But I don't have any harsh feelings towards her. I'm glad it's over.
No charges. A man accused of sexual assault at CSUB and cleared by police shares his side of the story, what he says about what happened that night when he went up to the students' dorm room.
Disneyland shuts down after a small fire breaks out, but it's where the fire happened that has a lot of people talking this morning.
Plus, they want your vote. Candidates for county supervisor are campaigning ahead of next month's election, and some incumbents could see a tough challenge. What they all had to say. This is Friday, February 7th, 2020. Good morning, it's 5 a.m. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. It's also Go Red Day.
It is, and we'll have more on that coming up. But first, we're talking about your forecast on this finally Friday, and thank goodness it is Friday. We have made it, everyone.
It's been a busy week, and we are looking at a nice weekend. We've been seeing the temperatures gradually increase. Yesterday, look at that, 65 degrees, so 4 degrees above the normal. The record on that day, 85, and that was actually set in 2015. We sit at 40 degrees right now in Bakersfield, so we're a little warmer than what we were just days ago. And as we take a look at the temperatures for today, starting out near 40, and then we'll be in the mid-60s this afternoon for the Bakersfield and Valley locations. We're currently at 28 degrees in Tehachapi with no winds. As we take a look at the day, upper 20s to start, but a nice afternoon with those 50s and 60s, and you can see a light wind by 3 o'clock just out of the northwest at 9. We are looking at somewhat of a complicated forecast heading into Sunday and Monday. We're going to talk more about that coming up in just a little bit. But first, we want to get a check of the morning commute firsthand with Alex Fisher.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Taking you outside for the first time this morning. Here's a look at the 99 at Airport Drive, and things are looking pretty clear on that side of town. Just keep in mind that there's a lot of construction in this area, so please slow down, especially when the crews make their way in the morning hours. So things are looking pretty clear right there, and they are looking great across Kern County to start off your Friday. We'll have another check of your morning commute coming up in about 15 minutes.
This morning, the convicted killer known as the man with 1,000 faces will be back in court. Jamie Osuna is accused of torturing and murdering his cellmate, Luis Romero, at Corcoran State Prison last March. Today, he'll be back in a Kings County courtroom for a pretrial conference. A preliminary hearing is set for later in June. That's when a judge will determine if there's enough evidence to begin a trial. Osuna is already serving a life sentence for killing a Bakersfield woman, Yvette Pena, back in 2011. If convicted for Romero's death, he could be given the death penalty. We spent months going over Osuna's early life, trying to understand what made him the person he is now. We also explored how his crimes changed the lives of the people around him. It's all covered in our first true crime podcast, The Man with 1,000 Faces. You can download it on the Apple Store by going to the podcast app. For more, you can go to 1000facespodcast.com.
This morning, a longtime coach at McFarland High School charged with sexual misconduct against a minor is due in court. Fernando Pernita coached basketball for 15 years. He also helped coach baseball. The 36-year-old faces 7 criminal counts, including 3 felonies. According to reports, a McFarland student and JV basketball player reported Pernita for inappropriate sexual behavior. Through text messages, detectives learned he was trying to get sexual favors from the boy and had possibly touched him. Reports say KCSO used the boy's cell phone to set up a meeting at McDonald's where they arrested Pernita. In court documents, investigators say he used his position as a coach to bait students with the promise of a varsity promotion. The school district says Pernita has been placed on administrative leave and he is no longer in contact with students. He is back in court this morning for a readiness hearing.
5:04 now, the murder trial for a local war veteran accused of killing his parents is coming to a close. 33-year-old Derek Connell's charged in the grisly murder of his mother and stepfather in 2016. 17's Vanessa Dillon's been following this trial. She now joins us in the newsroom with more.
Well, Maddie, both the prosecution and defense rested on Thursday. Now jurors will hear closing arguments in the trial of Derek Connell, the man prosecutors say shot and killed his parents. And we want to remind you, our cameras are not allowed inside the courtroom. What you'll see is file video of the defendant and the initial crime scene. 33-year-old Derek Connell was recalled to the witness stand Thursday morning. His second day on the witness stand followed chilling testimony from the defendant Wednesday. Connell admitted he killed his stepfather, Chris Higginbotham, but said that killing came only after Higginbotham killed Connell's mother. Connell said he revealed to his mother that night that Higginbotham molested him when he was 10 years old. That started an argument between the Higginbothams that ended when Chris Higginbotham killed Connell's mother, Kim Higginbotham. Connell said he wrestled the pistol from Higginbotham's hands and killed him with it. On Thursday, the family's longtime neighbor testified. He said he had known the Higginbothams for 20 years and described Chris Higginbotham as a patient, goal-oriented man, adding the couple seemed to have a happy marriage. He said Chris Higginbotham was a patient parent, telling jurors he never saw Chris lose his temper. The defense stood by the argument that Connell is a victim in this case who lashed out on the man who killed his mother and molested him as a child. The prosecution has argued Connell has lied numerous times to police, admitting that his memory was fuzzy from drinking, but he thought he was the one who killed his parents. Both Chris and Kim Higginbotham were 48 at the time they were killed. The prosecution argues Connell killed both his parents after coming home from a heavy night of drinking. If Connell is found guilty on 2 counts of first-degree murder, he faces life in prison without the possibility of parole. In the newsroom, I'm Vanessa Dillon, 17 News.
Vanessa, thank you. The man charged with a deadly stabbing outside Foothill High School was back in court. Jason Cruz allegedly admitted to stabbing 17-year-old Jose Flores outside the school last month. According to court documents, Cruz told investigators he confronted a group of unnamed teens over a bullying problem. The reports don't name Flores, but say Cruz confessed to killing a teen who punched him. 2 underage teens were also arrested. The GoFundMe raising money for Flores' funeral has reached its goal of $15,000.
5:06 now, and we're hearing from the man who was accused of sexually assaulting a CSUB student who he met on the dating app Tinder. He says he's trying to clear his name.
I didn't deserve any of this.
That was Bradley Brent. You may remember we showed you his picture yesterday on Sunrise. CSUB police initially said he was accused of sexually assaulting a student in a dorm room on campus Wednesday. But Bakersfield police say there's not enough evidence to charge Brent with a crime. He says he was with the student for 20 minutes, but won't disclose what happened. But he says he did not sexually assault her.
We hung out for a little while. She had something come up and she had to leave, so she walked me down to the parking lot and then I left. It hurt my feelings because I would consider myself a really nice guy. Anybody who knows me, I think, would say the same.
Bakersfield police say an uninvolved person reported the original assault. Detectives say they couldn't confirm the allegations. We looked up Brent's criminal record in Kern County. He admits he has a lengthy history of drug charges, but has been clean for 3 years.
5:08 now, and overnight frightening moments at the happiest place on earth. A fire broke out behind Main Street at Disneyland. Aerial video shows red flashing lights backstage where the fire happened. Oddly enough, it was right next to the fire station. Disney officials say the fire was small and Anaheim firefighters put it out quickly. Some attractions were closed due to the fire. No one was hurt.
A massive fire erupted at Meadows Field overnight, but it was only a drill. Take a look at this. County firefighters were able to practice putting out a fire on an aircraft. The department brings in a live fire trainer who creates a scenario for our firefighters to respond. Since aircraft emergencies are rare at Meadows Field, firefighters say this drill helps them prepare for worst-case scenarios.
We say we've practiced like we play, and that, I think, is key to the whole thing. We're doing what we would actually do in a real incident, in real time, and doing it the way we would do it.
The FAA requires the agency do this at least once a year.
Public safety power shutoffs are over for now, but Southern California Edison officials want to hear about how Tehachapi residents were affected. To voice your concerns, you can head to the Tehachapi PSPS Town Hall meeting today from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. It's all happening at the Slice of Life Enrichment School Auditorium on West Valley Boulevard.
5:09 now. County supervisor candidates vying for your vote speak about the future of Kern County.
Yeah, hear what they had to say about local issues coming up later this morning on Sunrise. Welcome back. Earlier this week, county supervisors proclaimed February Safely Surrendered Baby Awareness Month. And in honor of that new act, organizers are planning a series of events throughout Kern County.
That's right. And 17's Taylor Schaub is in Oildale this morning, where the Department of Human Services and Kern County Fire Department are joining forces to talk about the importance of safe surrenders. Taylor?
That's right, Maddie. I've been in Oildale for a little bit now, where organizers have been aiming to educate all morning. And I'm going to bring in Erica Bain right now from Kern County Fire. And Erica, can you talk to us a little bit about the law behind safe surrender?
Sure. The safe surrender law went into effect in 2001 in order to help mothers in crisis so that they're able to bring a baby to a fire station or an emergency room in the arms of someone safe.
Okay, and you mentioned this. This isn't something sad. This is actually a really good thing because it gives these mothers an opportunity to provide the best life for their children that they can't take care of themselves.
Absolutely. Our tagline is no blame, no shame, and no names, so that the mother in crisis feels like she can come to this establishment, either here or a hospital, and give her baby a better life that she might not be able to provide at that time.
Okay. For mothers that, or soon-to-be mothers that are struggling with this right now, what do they need to know? What are the steps that they would have to take if this is something they're thinking about?
Yeah, so if a mom feels like she's not in a place where she can take care of her child at this time, she just needs to go to any emergency room or hospital and drop the baby off into somebody's hands. At that point, that's when we have these kits here, and we give them a bracelet. So they have a bracelet that's with the mother and a bracelet that's with the baby. And then we have what's called a cooling off period. So there's about 14 days where the mom can take time to really make sure that that's what she wants to do, and that's an avenue that she wants to take. And then after that time, then the baby is completely surrendered.
So obviously there's the blue symbol that they can look out for at the hospital and they can look out for, but you also have this kit right here. And if you could just show it up real quick.
Yeah, real quick. So if you go to a fire station, we have all these at every single fire station. We have these, and inside of it we have just diapers or pacifiers or something so that the baby feels comfortable until it's able to get into an ambulance.
Okay, that's the process right there. We're going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Taylor, thanks so much. All right, 5:23 now, and we will be back with more news coming up after this.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back. A school district in the Bay Area is trying to help combat the high cost of living for its teachers by building affordable employee housing. District officials hope this can pave the way for employee housing across the nation. Taylor Bisacki has more.
Jefferson Union High School District breaking ground in Daly City on Wednesday to build affordable housing for its teachers and staff.
We had 20% turnover with our teachers and staff one year, and that's huge for a district our size. That's a third of our staff. And so we're looking to see what could we do to help retain the teachers that we had, and also how do we attract teachers into our district. And one of the issues, besides, of course, their salary, was the cost of housing and the unavailability of housing.
President of the school district's Board of Education, Kalima Salahuddin, helped spearhead the four-story development in hopes of making life more affordable for employees. Because right now, some teachers commute to Daly City from places as far as Brentwood.
We're building 122 units, 1, 2, and 3 bedroom. We're hoping to keep it 50% below market rate because it doesn't make any sense to build housing that none of our teachers and staff can afford to live in.
Superintendent Dr. Terry Deloria says the school district is paving ways for others across the nation.
We're the first school district in the nation where the community passed a bond to pay for the building for the staff housing. And I would say to anybody who's interested in doing some kind of a project like this, they should definitely do it. Every district has different resources.
The school district and city worked closely together on the project, hoping it will allow teachers to stay at their schools and serve as a recruitment tool for more staff members.
This is the first step in the continued fight to ensure that, our teachers can make a living wage, that housing isn't part of interfering with that living wage, and the continued fight with education and to increase the funding in education for California so that all teachers don't have to deal with this problem.